Okay, next process is to add the galley with the hatch and the sides. This isn't just a countertop, it's actually structural. But it's not bubbling up yet. And you know what exotherm is?
Time to start cutting some stuff. So to give you an idea how big it is in there, with the roof down, there's Charles back there in the, what are we calling it, the den?
The den.
And behind the den will be a pass-through into the galley.
Cabinetry here. Let's continue.
Now he's walking up onto the queen-size bed. Right below him is the bunk for Rye. And then now he's going over the bunk for East, which hasn't been secured yet, so he's gonna walk off. The carbon fiber test.
No flex.
You've never been up here, right?
214 pounds, no flex.
No, never.
First time.
First time up. What's more impressive, this trailer build or the Star Wars stuff behind you?
So this engine, this is one of the engine pods. This is the starboard engine pod. It actually connects here to the side, but because we have to take it in conventions that have tight spaces sometimes to get through a standard 6 foot double door, we had to actually make these come off. This is Ray's speeder bike. We were approached by 2 executives from Hasbro toy company, and they said, could you make one of these? We'd love to, have it at the premiere, the debut.
Even like these dents, that's what I've noticed.
Adding the final detail, what most people don't appreciate, but I do. This one was wood and aluminum and weighs about 1,200 pounds.
So Ray's speeder over here, this is fiberglass.
All fiberglass or composite. There is some carbon fiber. The total weight of that is less than 400 pounds.
Wow, because that thing is giant.
She'd just gun it, wouldn't she?
Yeah, you gotta keep your mouth closed. You get a mouthful of sand,
You should build a trailer.
Yeah, I think it will.
Maybe like a teardrop or something.
This is either the future of small camper trailers or the laughing stock of small camper trailers.
That's our calculation.
Oh yeah, just another R2-D2 head laying around.
So today, day 2, the roof came off last night. Charles cut it open, sent me a picture. I'm excited to show you guys because today I think is proof of concept. I'm going to be able to show you what this trailer has the potential to be. So the instructions that came with this loaner vehicle was make sure you back it into your parking spot because when it doesn't start, you're going to push it and pop the clutch. Already had to do that once yesterday. What'd you do to our trailer?
Hey, cut it up. Pretty radical, huh?
Yeah. I think we have proof of concept.
Yeah. Now, question.
Okay.
That is 6'7". I'm 5'10". Is it too tall?
I don't know.
I was going to put it down here, right here. That's 6'5".
Okay.
That leaves a 28-inch wing here, and there's less lateral shift than I thought. This is nearly vertical.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get in there.
Well, I'm just trying to decide if there's a downside to making it this tall.
I think for me, you know me and my aesthetics.
Yeah.
Once we pull up to the campsite, this will pop up.
Well, this is assisted by the living hinge. The flexible membrane is actually putting several pounds of lift on it.
And look at this.
And this
Charles is
is
grabbing this with one hand.
I think it fits.
I'm close. I'm feeling an edge somewhere. Do you see it? So many of you are familiar with this. This is an Arctic turn window. A bit expensive for my taste, but it is currently the best in the industry. Oh yeah, that felt a lot better. I think you're seeing it come together now. This pops up once we get to camp. This is going to be covered by more composite. East has all this space for his head. He can peer out here. We can cover that window at night. The beauty of the Arctic turn, this becomes your emergency exit and you can come out right through the front of the trailer now. So you have your screen, you have complete privacy here. So this is a reflective material. We'll also probably keep some heat in or some cool in as well. Getting her up on the scale here.
33, 34.
On a lot of the stick-built trailers that I have shown you guys on the channel, it takes 2 people to move the hatch in the production line. When you're working with composites, it's just me. So what we have here obviously is the galley, and making things DIY, the beauty is you get to build it around you, your own water, your own style of camping. So as you can see here, we have a bit of a his and hers. So this part of the galley is for May's height. This part of the galley is for my height. Charles came up with an amazing system for the drawers.
The drawers, I first laid them up to be, back here, and it was like, you'd have to get on your knees to find the drawer. So I matched this curve by laying this piece up on the hatch. And so this drawer will be for cutlery and eating utensils. This drawer will be for whatever. This drawer is 10 inches deep. Pots and pans, coffee pot. From the edge of this countertop to the hatch is 1.25 inches. You notice there's no knobs on here. Of course, this is really pretend at the moment anyway, but there's not gonna be any knobs because they can't come open because they're gonna hit the hatch. And so I'm using drawer pulls that are pushed to release and then pushed to lock. This gives you an absolute inability to kick your shin, which one of the things I didn't like about some of the designs I saw.
And then the same thing kind of goes here with the water. The water's in a way that we're not going to have to secure it. It's going to fit nice and flush with a stop that's designed from the hatch. And the neat thing about building a trailer out of composites is now the weight is down. So water, I'm very conscious about hauling it because it really impacts towing. But when your trailer weighs this little, you can add that extra water and it gives you a bit more peace of mind in case you cannot find it when you're out at your campsite, which rarely happens to me. Now, the biggest part I love about this galley is the pass-through. We built it around that. Very similar to what we are using on the Bean trailer, we're going to have the ability to slide things in and out between the cabin and the galley. And so on a typical teardrop that does not have a pass-through, if it's the middle of winter, I'm going to have to open the door and let that cold air come in to come out and get my toothbrush. If I forget something in the rain, I have to come out and get it. Or I have to have 2 sets of it. 1 set in the cabin, 1 set in the galley, which I find wasteful. I can pass food through to May. I can pass a sleeping bag through it. It's just helped us stay more organized, haul less gear, and then it just simplifies the process.
Uh-huh.
Look at this. So where does the typical galley counter start, right?
On most of the trailers I've seen, the galley stops straight up from the back of the trailer. I really like the teardrop shape, and I wanted to continue it at the back. It has no aerodynamic purpose at the back. I just like the aesthetic. And so I took advantage of all the cubic inches I had, gaining you guys 5 inches more on the countertop and gaining Drew 5 inches more in the den. Obviously, we are in prototype stage. There's a lot of development to do in terms of closing this out and putting a window 42 inches wide in here, and then developing the system to close these out. They will be hinged from up here, composite walls just like these insulated sidewalls, and it'll all come down and lock in place, and you'll be nice and cozy.
What's our setup time that we wanted for this camper?
Oh, when you guys think about pop-ups, some of them took a long time to get ready to actually camp. This one should be 45 seconds for the front, maybe if you're really slow, 2 minutes for this, and you're camping.
I don't know if you know this, but we've been working on this for a long time, and this is my dream trailer, and we are partially there, and I want to bring you in on this. So you know how I do the 3 pros and the 3 cons when I review trailers? I want you to look at this the same way. I want you to be a part of this, that as I go through this and explain this trailer to you, you can help me make sense of it if there's something I'm overlooking, because this trailer is built for me, just putting it out there. The partnership that I have with Charles, I have no skin in the game in terms of sales of this trailer. This is not going to the public, I'm not selling it. But I think it's something that if Charles gets it right and we work this out together, you know, he's gonna be making, and I'll talk about this later too, kit trailers. That's his thing, the guy who's building this. But I think this is something he could potentially sell at some point. I don't think he believes that. I think he thinks this is a trailer just for me, but I'm hoping we can get involved as a community and make this into something special. And even if Charles doesn't want to take it on, maybe somebody else does. In the next episode, you're going to see more progress. We're taking you inside this trailer to show you all the storage we were able to add. More storage than any small camper trailer I have taken out, plus the heating, the filtration, a very unique electrical system, and then the philosophy behind this build, how we took 4 of our favorite campers and integrated them all into this design. So as usual, stay safe on the road, and we will see you in the next episode.